talked about coming out of, we always do, about setting the tone with our defense and our rebounding. And I thought these guys, I thought it was our best defensive performance so far this year in terms of the attention to detail and guarding their two main guys, and then just our team defense overall. And I think that set the tone. Then we were able to get out and get some transition baskets. And I just thought we executed offensively at a high level of doing what we knew we could get. We really wanted to attack them, get in the paint, and we won that battle 58-18. So just proud of these guys and their focus, their discipline, and the effort level that they did. And we just continue to learn and get better every day. So just thought it was a really good performance for 35 minutes.
Question first,
Gretchen, it's looking like Williamsville South and St. Mary's High School are about 20 minutes away on the map, and you got to stand right next to Shay at the start of the game and match up against her. What's it like when you get to play against someone that you have so much basketball history with, dating back to when you were in the prep era of your career?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, just following each other's careers, and we're in the gym always at home, and we train together, and we played on the same team when we were little, and then obviously competed every year in high school. So it's a lot of fun. She's a great player, and I think it's just cool for us to both be in the Big Ten and still continue those battles every year.
Just for either one of the players, Coach kind of referencing just the focus that you guys had defensively in this game. What kind of has led to that? Has it just kind of been building off of the last couple of games, or what do you feel like has led to you being locked in defensively like you have been the last couple of games?
Yeah, I think it's just drilled in practice. I think Oregon State was really like our wake-up call, kind of. We really have to lock in on defense or we can't win games. So over the past few games, I think we really locked into defense and sat down and really guarded. So I think it just kind of accumulated into this game.
Gretchen, how much of an emphasis was there the last couple of days that the ball had to go in the paint, or at least you guys had to get a foot in the paint before something went up?
Yeah, I think that's always something that we want to do. We want to attack, and part of our game plan was to get the ball inside and go at them. And I think our forwards did a really good job in just being strong and physical and finishing those. But I think that's something we always want to do. We know our threes are going to fall and our jump shots, but they're going to come also from inside out and from us attacking. So,
Gretchen, from your standpoint, what do you make of how your teammates, specifically the younger ones, Cece and Destiny, have kind of developed throughout this year, and how confident they've been throughout the past couple weeks? Yeah,
I think they just develop more and more every game, and you can see it in every practice. You wouldn't be able to tell that, we're starting two freshmen and that this is their first Big Ten game of the season. It's like they've been here for a while. So I'm just proud of them and like their growth. They're learning every day, but it's coming to them each and every rep, and they're getting better.
Gretchen, when I'm watching you play, there are a lot of times where you're navigating traffic in the middle layer of the floor in the half court, and you're keeping your head up whether you're going to pass or you're going to get to your shot. How did you develop that part of your game? And especially thinking about now that you're getting to play a long stretch of basketball after missing a lot last year, what is it like to get to display your skill set now that you have an extended stretch of basketball under your feet?
Yeah, I think that skill set is something that I've developed here, but also when I was younger. I was a point guard before I came here, so it's something that does come natural to me, like just facilitating, and I always want to find my teammates if that's the read. And like you said, just being back, I think I'm just trying to find myself in a good rhythm and let the game come to me and not forcing anything. I was getting some rust off there in the beginning in the first few games, but now it's just, I think I'm more in a rhythm and letting it come to me.
Cece, for you and this team, what is a win like this and the fashion in which you guys won? How much of a statement is that, showing what this team is capable of for, the rest of the season?
Yeah, I think we did make a statement, but I definitely think we went into this game knowing we were going to win. We were going to stomp on their necks, as to say. But yeah, we just came in and did what we usually did, locked in on defense. Definitely our best defensive performance so far this year, and it just led to that win.
Cece, I know you referenced the other day just sort of feeling like, you developed confidence around the rim, but also today to have, 15 points, 13 rebounds, and then also hit, the 2 3-pointers like you did. Just how much confidence, just to know your overall floor game, have you just sort of developed over these last couple of, this first month of the season?
Yeah, the past few games, I think I've kind of built confidence just because I feel like I've been making more shots overall, or getting more rebounds or steals or whatever. That kind of like helped the team overall. So I think whenever I impact the team most, I feel like I feel most confident. And yeah.
CC, this is a related question, but when I watch you on defense, you're really great at closing out possessions, whether it's with a steal or a rebound. Is that something that you've conscientiously focused on in terms of just getting to a basketball that's within your sphere of influence on the floor? Or I don't know. I'm just curious if that's natural or if you're trying to focus on that overtly.
Not really. I'm not really thinking I'm gonna jab and try to get a steal. I think it just comes to me whenever. And I think it's kind of like a feel as to if I want to go try for a rebound or try for a steal and just boxing out is gonna happen every play. But yeah, it just comes to me, I think, and it's kind of showed in these past few games.
Kind of as a follow-up to Joe's question, do you feel like there has been a moment so far early in the season where it's kind of clicked for you, or what has that dynamic been like? Is it just, what has that been like for you, I guess?
I don't think there's been a single moment where it's just clicked. I think it's just kind of been going out and getting more games under my belt, and just kind of building more confidence again, and just keep doing what I've been doing or what I know I'm good at. So it wasn't one moment, but just a bunch of games overall.
Was there anything about arriving in January and just going through the practices during Big Ten play that allowed you to kind of understand the physicality of the league and what kind of KB had gone through for 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, it was really great coming in January. I think it was really beneficial. I got used to the physicality and the pace of the college game really quick. I was thrown right into practice. I got to play in the scout team, so I got to play against them. So yeah, I mean, it was really beneficial just kind of having that advantage of coming early and getting used to the college game. And then I kind of already had a feel for it when we played our first game and throughout all these games.
Gretchen, CC kind of referred to it earlier, but that Oregon State game maybe being a wake-up game for y'all. Just the last couple of games, I mean, what is that? How have you progressed as a team since that game to have the performances like you've had the last couple of games here?
Yeah, I think mainly, just on the defensive end and our urgency. We know that game we were just flat all game, and we let them get too many easy things, and we knew we could be a lot better than that with our team defense. So, we took that one on the chin, and then at practice, ever since then, I think we've just been really locked in and playing on a string and all 5 guarding the ball, and just being in our principles. We know that that will take care of things and having urgency. So yeah, that's what we've been focusing on.
For both of you guys, from your guys' perspective, what kind of impact has Maddie had coming off the bench?
Yeah, Maddie is, just such a spark coming off the bench. Obviously her role, or not even her role, but what she did at Villanova, starting and playing a huge role for them. It could seem a little bit different, but we know the type of player she is, and coming off the bench, it's just more fuel on the fire, like we like to say, and anyone coming into the game, that's their mindset, and I think she's done a great job embracing that. The last few games, she's been playing really well, finding people and hitting her shots. So.
Everybody good? All right, thanks, you guys.
Thank you.
Enjoy your day out.
You too.
Thanks.
Coach, I think this was the first game in the Big Ten this season in terms of 2 teams playing each other from the conference. It looked like you outscored them 51-21 combined in the first and third quarter. What does it mean to display that type of performance defensively when all eyes of the conference on you, with it literally being the first game of the season for the conference?
Yeah, I mean, I don't get caught up in that. I just am happy we're defending, right? There's such a long season and there's so much can happen in this league so hard. So my focus is, how were we going to come out today with a young team, first Big Ten game, for a lot of these guys, how are they going to handle the nerves, the everything, right? And I mean, I think they showed that they came out and, focus, discipline, great attention to detail and how, personnel, scout, our principals. So that's what I'm concerned about. It's literally one day at a time, and our goal was to find a way to go 1-0. We did that today, and now we, start prepping for Missouri tomorrow. But really, really proud of them. For a young team, I'm really proud of how they came out and executed.
Shauna, just to maybe see your team grow like they have the last couple of weeks after that Oregon State game, just how cool of an experience has that been for you to see that and kind of see that manifest itself?
Yeah, we have, after that Oregon State game, I think that's kind of that reference point because our defense, if you watched film of today in that game back, it was awful. It was nothing we wanted to do. But I also think as you're growing and with this type of team and young, you got to learn. You got to go through some of those things, and we're going to go through a lot more of them this season. But I give our kids credit because they took ownership after that game in the locker room at Oregon State. They knew exactly, and they said it. They're like, we got to be better. People said, I need to be, not me. They were saying themselves, like, and I told them I need to be better. But they were like, I got to be better at this. I got to be, like, that's ownership. That's actually maturity for a young team that I was shocked by. I had to, I didn't do a good enough job. So I think we all just learn from that and continue to just stick to our principles defensively. And you see that now. A team hasn't scored 70 on us this season. Jess just told me that coming up. And I think right there, that says a lot. That's what we want to do, is continue to just get more solid. The defense is going to fuel us. Our defense is going to determine the success of the season.
Just a follow-up to the defensive emphasis of your team. When I'm looking at turnover battle, you forced 20 of those, and then additionally, you grabbed another 11 offensive rebounds. That's a ton of possessions to stack up, and it looks like you took 18 more shots today. Is this an example of what your team can look like moving forward in terms of just a regular, reliable way to win?
Yeah, I think you're right. And it's kind of manifested itself on its own, right? Organically, because we're not a high turnover team. But this team is a little bit different than last 3 years in terms of their length, a little bit, their versatility, their activity level. We're deeper, so we're not playing. I know we played high minutes today, but even having a couple guards to sub in and that's even with Aaliyah out today, like, I think we can create more and we're not doing anything differently. We're just in our positioning and we're super active in our positioning. And yeah, we can. I thought it was like, okay, maybe just one game, maybe 2 games, like against, some team. Well, we just forced Indiana into 20 turnovers. And our goal was actually 11 O boards today. That was our analytics said get 11 to win, and we got 11. So we've been better the last 2 games of O boards. And then obviously our defense from positioning is getting turnovers.
You mentioned your offensive execution, especially early on. I'm looking at the first quarter, and you shot 2 threes. I mean, it almost seemed like it was almost intentional that you felt like you could get to the rim with any of the 5 people, at the top of the key. Was that kind of the plan?
Yeah, definitely. And it like Gretch said, every game I'm a broken record. Every day, you guys know us. We want to attack. We want to put pressure on the rim. We want to get downhill. We've never been this high shooting, live and die by threes. That's just not it. We want to try to get to the rim, get to the free throw line, really put pressure, and then they're going to have to start overplaying, and then we can get an inside out 3. So that's always been us. But against Indiana too, I just, certain players on their team can't really foul. Like Shea, they need her. Shea and Lene can't really foul. So we knew we could attack them, right? And we really wanted to get to the rim, and they don't have really any shot blockers. So just that was a huge emphasis coming in, be in attack mode for 40, go at them. Go until you're stopped, and I thought we did a great job again with 58 points in the paint is big.
I need to go back and watch the film, but there are so many times where Destiny forces missed shots. That's not going to show up in the box score, but she is closing out possessions by forcing like high-level basketball players to miss over and over and over again. 10 rebounds on the day too. What are you seeing from your point guard, and what does it mean to have such a tone setter on the effort stuff from your point guard?
It's everything. It's why I knew she could be so good here. And that's where those first few games, as she was learning, I was just begging her to just make that impact, set the tone defensively, set the tone. Now I don't have to even talk to her about defense. It's great. She's playing so beyond her years on that end. I mean, she literally saved us at least 3 transition layups because of her ability to in presence of mind, to just go and get a steal. She's understanding our principles. She's playing at an elite level of getting her chest and body over the ball and not giving ground and keeping people in front. And then she's learning how to be elusive, getting over screens, and not getting screened. Early on, she just would keep running into screens. I'm like, man, that hurts. Like, don't do that. Don't get screened, right? And she's starting to figure it out. And it's just been really fun to watch her progression. I mean, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 turnovers. She was in 38 minutes. She was great today.
Hi, Coach. Sort of on the flip side of that, Destiny and especially Maddie, like they had a real connection on those fast breaks, those transition plays. What did you like about that and them just pushing the ball up?
Yeah, I mean, we want to play fast, right? And we were able to get stops for transition buckets. And the thing I love about Destiny, she's such a facilitator. She's so unselfish. She takes some shots and she drove a few, but she's always looking to make that play and has great vision. So, and Maddie's taken such great, huge steps in the last even 2 weeks. And purely just her decision making and her shot selection. It's normal. You first get in a system and you haven't kind of gotten comfortable, so you're forcing some things. I mean, how comfortable and confident she's played in the last 2 weeks, it's been unbelievable. And she's passing and making those reads instead of, again, like so unselfish. Like this team is so unselfish. I think we're playing so well together, and we had 23 assists.
Coach, is it strange to be interviewed by Jen? I mean, what was it? What did it
That
mean
was
to
a little
see her?
weird. Yeah,
what's it mean to see her?
That was interesting. I actually thought about it. I'm like, man, like last time we played Indiana, we were, hugging after the game because we beat them over there, and now she's, trying to be so professional and ask me questions. And no, it's just awesome. Like today, you have Jen calling the game for Big Ten Network. You have KB on the radio next to me, and then I look, and then Dell shows up, and she's sitting there. I'm like, it's pretty cool. I mean, that's what this is all about, is those relationships and about the family and understanding, watching people be successful and being happy, and to sit and hang out with them after the game and talk on the court was pretty awesome.
Just following up more on Maddie, took 11 shots. 10 of them were 2-pointers, and she was 8 of 10 on those shots. And I know you talked about having her impact off the bench and how vital it is to be able to get production from your bench. Seems like she is going to be a mismatch nightmare coming in against second units. Is that something that you see as a sustainable role for her moving forward? And I imagine you're going to affirm this type of performance when you see her the next time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, no doubt. I mean, I believe that's why as soon as I watched Maddie's film, when I saw her in the portal, I called her, and I'm like, we have to have her. I absolutely love everything Maddie is about. She wants to be great. I've said this multiple times. She works her butt off. She's constantly watching film. She watched film on, all the clips on Shea, and she did all this on her own. Like that's different. Not everyone does that. She's in the gym nonstop working, and this is the thing, like it's kind of for me and probably for her, it's kind of annoying about how everyone keeps like, oh, she's coming off the bench and her role, like she is a freaking baller. Like she could start. We have 7 starters on this team. So it just happens to be that she's not out there when the ball's tipped, but she's out there a lot. She was cramping a little bit tonight. Otherwise, she would have played more than 21 minutes. I had to take her off a couple times. But her impact, her length, her motor, she plays the game the right way. She plays it hard, all out. She loves the game. She's now not, early on she was just taking a lot of threes, and I thought she just was pressing, and that's normal. She is just making, I can't stress enough, her decision making is really what I'm most proud of right now. That one where she had that three in transition and she didn't take it and she drove, I was about ready to run out on the court and hug her, because first 2 weeks of season she was taking that, and yeah, maybe she makes some, but just what a smart play. So I absolutely love what Maddie does for this program, this team, and yes, we need her, and she's going to keep playing like this. There's no doubt about it.
What's your interpretation of why these young players are so mature, even though, obviously they're young?
I don't know if they're that mature when you really know them. No, I'm just kidding. They've played a lot of basketball, right? Nowadays, it's. I know college is different, but they've played a lot of basketball, high level on the circuit, and also I think sometimes when you're starting and you're playing and you have a big role, you just adjust. It's just what people do. Kids are very resilient, and they just adapt. And I think all of them. I mean, we're young across the board. We really, Jasmine and Maddie, are juniors. Otherwise we're all sophomores in terms of basketball years, of our main guys. And so yeah, they work, they're unselfish, they're coachable, they want to be better. We all can coach them and tell them good, bad, and everything in between, and they take it and they listen and they get better. Very simple, but so hard for kids, right? That's why they're excelling. They don't get caught up in, they keep the main thing. Literally, you can coach them and they get better and they work. Very simple life lessons that a lot of people don't do. And that's why I love this team. Again, their youth sometimes is their youth, but man, they want it. And I'll never complain about kids that have passion and want to be great.
I know you referenced with last year's team just, having a vibe, a sense about them going into games. Are you starting to maybe get that with this team sometimes where you feel like they're locked in maybe the last couple of days in practice and it leads to a performance like you have today?
Joe, we had really good practices the last couple weeks. We were off after our last game, and then we had a great practice 2 days ago, whatever day that was, Thursday. And then yesterday, I'm gonna be honest, we did not have a good first hour of practice. Just something was off. I'm a big field person. I know this team. I'm like, something's off. And again, I'm like, are they nervous? What's going on? So finally, I was either gonna kick them out of practice, which I didn't think would probably be smart the day before first Big Ten game, lose my mind, or just bring them in and see what the heck was going on. So I brought them in. I'm like, yo, guys, what is up? Did something happen? Do I not know about? Someone's dog die? Someone's cat? What's up? And Maddie spoke up and said something, and it was awesome. It was they were vulnerable. They spoke up. And then I just said, hey, this game's like any other game. And we got to, we've played basketball a million times. Don't let the moment get too big. Just relax and have fun. And then just try to keep it light. And the rest of practice, they were great. So I didn't really know. This is my first time with this team in a conference game. I didn't know how we were going to respond. I knew last year, at least, I had a good feel. So for them to come out and defend and start like they started was awesome to see, because I didn't know, especially after that first hour of practice yesterday.
What about CC allows you to have confidence that, she's going to see elite bigs later on in this league. She is, but what are you seeing in practice that allows her to kind of handle that from not only just a physicality standpoint, but what she's going to have to provide on both ends?
Yeah, I think she just continues to learn, right? So she's guarded some bigger bigs. She's guarded some mobile bigs. And, again, every game is going to kind of be a first for her, but I do think she's able to learn really quickly and adapt really quickly. And that's why I was really proud of her today, because at first she didn't show us high the first 2 plays of the game, and Shea got those pull-ups. And just very mature. She went, I got it. She knew exactly what she had to do. And we'd been practicing it, but again, until you go through it, oh yeah, now that's why we had to show high, because Shea can hit that. made the adjustment and was great the rest of the game. So I think that just like ability to change and adapt quickly and learn quickly and respond quickly and positively is going to continue for her growth. If she keeps doing that, she's going to continue to grow. So I feel confident. I mean, we're going to need, our other bigs, and I thought Letty was great in her 10 minutes. Then I had her and they went small, so we had to, but Cece's she'll just continue to learn and develop and adapt as we see these bigger bigs.